doubleheader from Memorial Stadium. Calling your game today will be Rick Dupree. And as always, with color commentary, Seahawks legend Edwin Bailey, the big man himself. The team of Monday Night Sports who broadcasts every Monday at 6:30 p.m. when you can always find out the announcement of who will be the player of the week, the Metro League player of the week. And the winner of that, the player that gets chosen by our sports team here at Rainier Avenue Radio, wins a $20 fish sandwich coupon. So, yes, a big deal right here as you are listening live. A lot of fervor that we're noticing in as all these comments on our YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch accounts. A lot of fervor for Franklin. Let's see Samantha saying, go Franklin. Jacoby's going for Nathan Hale, it looks like. So is Peggy Mala, Sania Fona, Janet Sato. Raiders and Quakers. Yes. All right. Well, I think we're going to turn things over to our guys, Rick Dupree, Edwin Bailey. You guys ready to get this game going? All right, let's turn them over.
And we are live at Memorial Stadium. Daniel, thank you for that, getting everything prepared here. And, you know, it's been interesting, Edwin, as we are getting all geared up. We are obviously looking at a very new setting here, taking into account all of the COVID safety measures and what have you. But we are glad to be here at Memorial Stadium for Game 2 and want to say thank you to Juan Cotto, Granville Emerson, great job calling that first game. And as Daniel told you, Seattle Prep a 28-0 winner over Franklin.
Yeah.
Or rather over Garfield. We have Franklin here tonight against Nathan Hale.
Should be a good game.
Yeah. And this, as Daniel said, will be Franklin's first game of the season. And
oh, really?
Yes. And so Nathan Hale, a winner last weekend. Nathan Hale, they beat Lincoln by a score of 13-0. And so we are pleased that we are back here at Memorial Stadium, Leon H. Brigham Field.
I'm happy to be here.
Yes. And staring us right in the face, as always, just a beautiful sight. The Space Needle taking a look at us and keeping us in check. And so, again, I'm Rick Dupree along with Edwin Bailey. We're about a couple of minutes away from kickoff, 1:55 on the clock. And so what we're seeing now, so each team is allowed to have one player at midfield when they do the toss, and that's going on right now. One or there are two officials with them, and Franklin has three players on the field marker, or I should say the what would I want to call this, Edwin? I'll say on the 50-yard where it says 50. So
on the numbers.
On the numbers, thank you. Outside of the hash, and then Nathan Hale on the other side of the field has a 4 on their side of the field, but only one player from each team is actually able to go up again because of safety precautions. One player from each team able to go to midfield and actually participate in the coin toss. And so I believe we're going to have, as the clock ticks down to just under 1 minute, I believe what we're going to have will be the I don't know if they're going to do the national anthem or the Pledge of Allegiance. And then we will be ready to kick it off right here at Memorial Stadium. So again, want to welcome all of you here for the coverage of our second game of the doubleheader. And we are just pleased that you can join us. And then want to make sure that you stay tuned, because as we look at next week, next Friday night, we have a doubleheader, and Edwin and I. I'm gonna see if we can get some help, man. That's a long night, but we have O-Day and Seattle Prep at 5 o'clock, followed by Ballard and Rainier Beach, and the game typically will start about 8 o'clock. Again, the reason that this game was scheduled, obviously, to start at 6 o'clock, we're a little bit behind schedule, only because with the COVID precautions, what happens is that once the game concludes, each team has to gather all of its gear, load on the buses, and then depart, the stadium, the entire complex here. It's not just they get off the field. And obviously, as you know, the locker rooms aren't being used. Once they have departed and left the field, then the next teams that are playing come onto the field, and they have to be given time to unload off of the bus, go into the stands, and put on the shoulder pads and all of the other gear. They're partially clothed, if you will, with their pants and what have you on, but they on the sidelines put on the helmets and the shoulder pads and all of that stuff. So again, that delays a little bit. They're trying to get the clock set right now. It's showing Franklin with the score of 2, Nathan Hale 0, and 5 minutes on the clock. So the teams are on the field. Franklin is set to kick off, but we are trying to get the scoreboard.
Rick, I'm going to tell you, the administrators out here are doing a great job.
Yeah.
They're doing everything. They're parking buses.
They're
corralling these kids. They're corralling these coaches. They're making sure that they're all in the right place, doing the right things, assisting the cheerleaders. Hey,
yeah,
they're earning their money this year.
Yeah, big time. So as we look at last week's games, Edwin, and I believe I've got all of the games here. So Ballard was a 15-7 winner over Prep. Lakeside beat Ingram 14-13. Nathan Hale was a 13-0 winner over Lincoln of Seattle. Back in action. Eastside Catholic beat O'Day 20-0. Mount Baker 22-16 over Bishop Blanchette, and Garfield 28-22 over Rainier Beach. That was last weekend. And last night, O'Day over Ballard 41-7. Eastside Catholic a 35-0 winner over Rainier Beach. You heard that game right here on Rainier Avenue Radio. Roosevelt beat Lakeside 24-2. Blanchette 52-7 over Ingram. And Nathan Hale on the return. And I tell you what, the runner, he took it out all the way close to midfield. That was number 14 for, and of course they don't have the roster in numerical order, but that was a David Holden, a senior, and he took out the opening kickoff all the way out to the 46-yard line. So Nathan Hale will take over 1st and 10 to start out this ball game on the 48-yard line after a fine return by David Holden to give Nathan Hale excellent field position.
That was a pretty good job of blocking by that return team.
Well, anytime runner gets something, you got to contribute to the run to the line as well. Handoff in the backfield. That is number 26, and let me find him on the roster here, Edwin. We will make this work.
Yes,
that is Tyler Satterwhite, and the senior. Nice pickup of about 5 yards across midfield to the 49. So again, if you just joined us, welcome to Rainier Avenue Radio's coverage doubleheader, and we are in game number 2. Franklin and Nathan Hale. The game just underway. Nathan Hale, and the pitch back to again number 26, and a fine run. There's a flag in the back. 26 again is Tyler Satterwhite, and a flag back, Edwin, around midfield. So I think this one's going to come back. Satterwhite, a nice run down to about the 37, 38-yard line. Picked up the first and then some, but that's going to come back.
Out there on the edge, that's more than likely that's Holden.
And that's exactly what the referee indicates. And the flag was thrown at about the 50, so that was probably where the spot of the foul was. So they're going to march that back to the 40-yard line. So instead of a first down, it will be 2nd and 16 for Nathan Hale. And again, the earlier game today saw Seattle Prep a big winner over Garfield, 28-0. A surprise there. As I'm sorry, I said Nathan Hale. Forgive me, Seattle Prep. Yeah, I did say Seattle Prep, didn't I? We are now have Nathan Hale and Franklin. Boy, Edwin, we have some troubles here already.
Yes,
Tyler Satterwhite on the left side takes the pitch, stiff arm, he's across midfield, and then is popped out of bounds, but he picks up the first down. A fine run by Satterwhite, and even better tackle on the edge there by Jalen Call, JC, for Franklin.
Number one,
Yeah.
he looks like a defensive back at the highest level of football.
Yeah. He's tall, lean, and he came up and he laid a shoulder on Satterwhite and made him pay for that one. But Satterwhite, a big pickup down to the 41-yard line of Franklin. So that was about 18, 19 yards.
Whoa.
Satterwhite makes two guys miss in the backfield, gets on the in here on the left side and gets a nice pickup to about the 36, 30. Yeah, looks like the spot at the 36-yard line. So Satterwhite got the ball and avoided the tackler in the backfield. Should have been stopped for a loss. And then got to the line of scrimmage and made another tackler miss and then bounced it out to the left and pickup of about 5 yards. So it'll be 2nd and 5 for Nathan Hale on the Franklin 36-yard line. 10:45 left to go here in the first quarter, early in the ball game. And Satterwhite is the workhorse pitch. He cuts it back. He gets the first down and then some across the 30-yard line. Satterwhite, I tell you what, making some guys miss. And finally he is brought down by number 19. That was Charlie Welch. They call him Red. So Red with the stop there. And Satterwhite takes it down to just inside the 30-yard line. We'll call it the 29. 1st and 10 for Nathan Hale on the Franklin 29-yard line.
I tell you, Camonte Banks is another good-looking football player out there. He can sell football uniforms.
And the handoff to Satterwhite.
And he's tackled.
Satterwhite takes it all the way down to about the 25, tackled from behind.
Camonte Banks.
Yes, sir. Number 24, Camonte Banks with the stop.
Tell you what, Franklin got 2 or 3 good-looking kids on that defense now.
Yeah. And you see Carmonte's nickname, Tank.
Yes, sir.
So Tank with the stop after about a 5-yard pickup. So Nathan Hale will have it 2nd and 5 to go on the Franklin 24-yard line. And right now, Edwin, it looks like, and I defer to you, Nathan Hale interior line is kind of controlling this ball game because although Satterwhite has made some guys miss in the backfield, some guys have gotten in there. They are pretty much controlling the pitch to Satterwhite on the right side. He cuts it inside and then is brought down. I think it's going to be a first down, but there is that guy, Tank, once again to stop him.
He had to be a big baby if they called him Tank.
Yes, sir.
He was a big baby.
So Tank with the stop of Satterwhite, and that's going to be just shy of the first down, about a half a yard short. So it'll be 3rd, and we'll call it a yard, although it is inside of a yard. And the ball is on the Franklin 20-yard line. Nathan Hale, 3rd, and yes, as it says on the scoreboard, 3rd and inches, and that is accurate.
Yes, it is.
Again, Satterwhite has been the workhorse. They continue to give it to him. There is Tara Davis from the athletic office. How you doing?
One of the people that's doing a great job out here, man.
Absolutely. And the carry right up the middle, and that was Eli Russ. Mighty is his nickname, and he picks up the first down to the 14-yard line. Check that. So Nathan Hale 1st and 10 on the Franklin 14-yard line. Nathan Hale has 1 game under their belt. This is the first for Franklin. We are live at Memorial Stadium under the lights. It is Saturday night. The handoff to Satterwhite again makes a couple guys miss. He's bouncing out to the left side, and he's going to almost get to the end zone, but he is thrown out of bounds. I tell you what, I thought Satterwhite had it there, but a touchdown-saving tackle by number 11, Bubba Banks.
I'll tell you what, Satterwhite is a little shifty, slippery guy.
Yeah, he really is. I like him. He is making that first guy miss
every time.
Franklin's getting some penetration in there, Edwin, but when Satterwhite gets by that tackler or two that is penetrating, then he's making some other guys miss, and he's getting some yardage.
Yes, he is.
So Tyler Satterwhite, a senior, and he has been the workhorse here for Nathan Hale this first series. So they have 1st and goal on about the 3-yard line. And handoff right up the middle and nothing doing there. I should say that there was nobody there to stop him. Touchdown, Nathan Hale.
That was a good series of football right there.
That really was. And the handoff was to number 10. And again, forgive me, searching on the roster here. And I apologize, I don't see a number 10 on the Nathan Hale roster, but it was handoff to number 10, and he got the touchdown. If we can get that young man's name, we shall do that and let you know who that was. But the handoff right up the middle, and he literally went untouched and got the score for Nathan Hale with 7:57 left to go here in the first quarter. Nathan Hale strikes first, and now there was a offsides penalty. So they'll move the ball half the distance to the goal, and Nathan Hale will, I believe, now send in the offense, and they're going to go for 2, it looks like, because of that, because the ball now on about the 1 yard, actually the half-yard line. So they're like, you know what, I think we can get half a yard. Yeah. And so, yeah, they bring in the offensive unit again. And again, I apologize. Yeah, looking, I don't see number 10 on the roster, but he's lined up at fullback.
They give it a satellite, they can get it in there.
Yeah, I think so. He has been pretty much unstoppable. Oh, some movement there, and they hand off to the fullback, number 10, but he moved. And I think Franklin will decline that because they stopped him unless that's a pre-snap, which, yeah, actually it is with the illegal procedure with the motion there. So the false start. So it's going to come back and, false start on Nathan Hale. And the fullback, number 10, got a little anxious there and was kind of leaning forward and started moving. And so the whistles blew, but Franklin was all over him.
Yeah, I think he kind of saw his name in the paper tomorrow.
Yeah. And so as a result, Nathan Hale will now bring back out the kicking unit. They will look for the traditional, conventional way for the extra point. The kick is up, and it is good. So Nathan Hale with a fine-looking drive there, Edwin, to strike first to lead it now with 7:57 left to play in the first quarter. Nathan Hale leading Franklin by a score of 7-0.
A very good opening drive.
Well, certainly the way you want to start the game.
Yes, sir.
And again, I'm looking on the roster to try to see the kicker there, number 24. So if you are listening and you listening or watching and you know who that is, message Taylor Corrine and she will get that information to us.
We need all the help we can get.
Yeah. And again, part of the challenge, everyone, is that, with COVID, the schools still primarily, I believe, Seattle Public still remote, at least at this level. And, so just a lot of things. I mean, I'm at a private school. We just started back this past weekend on a hybrid mode. So our high school was on campus last week at Seattle Academy. And this week will be the middle school. So we'll flip-flop it like that, the remaining of this, for us, spring trimester until the end of school in June. But yeah, I mean, I know that so many resources are devoted to safety and what have you. And so things that normally may have gotten handled by someone, their focus is just making sure that everybody is safe. And so, as you said, Edwin, a lot of credit goes to not only the athletic office for the Seattle Public Schools, but each of the athletic directors, the coaches at these schools,
everybody,
to make sure these kids are out here on the field.
Hey, I'm at CBS. We're remote and we're at school.
Mm-hmm,
so, our teachers are really, really doing a great job.
Yeah, absolutely. And is a squib kick on the ground. It is picked up by, I believe that's number 20 for Franklin, and he's got it out beyond the 30-yard line. Actually, I think it's 21. Give me a second. I'm making sure.
24 is Mario Marino.
24 for Nathan Hale is Mario Marino. Let me get a pen out. I will write that down. I may ask you that again if I forget. And we are doing this as we in the moment.
I'll tell you what, there's a ball boy that's coming off that field with a football running like Gale Sayers.
Oh, my goodness.
That might be different. Everybody might not know who Gale Sayers is.
Well, if not, YouTube him, and you will see someone special. Come on.
You should see this ball boy, though.
So Mario Marino is number 24 for Nathan Hale. Thank you for that. And for those of you listening or watching on YouTube. Oh, and a great stop. So Franklin handoff. And if we can find out who number 10 for Nathan Hale is as well, that would be very, very helpful. The handoff to number 21 for Franklin, that is Kui Vong, and he was met by number 10. And Vong did a good job of getting, a few steps out of that. He still stopped for a 2-yard loss. So it will be 2nd and 12 for Franklin at their own 30-yard line.
You're right. We don't have a number 10, do we?
Nope. So we'll get that handoff right up the middle again to number 21, Vaughn for Franklin. And not a lot there, Edwin. And if you take a look at that interior line play, again, I think on both sides of the ball right now, Nathan Hale kind of controlling that.
Yep.
What's that?
Oh,
Okay.
wow. Wow. Thank you. I'm going to let Rick handle that.
That is number 10 for Nathan Hale. Okay, let's see. He probably is on the roster and just not. Let's see if we can find him. Give me that name one more time, please. Okay. And the pass out on the sideline.
That's a great catch by number 17.
Number 17, who we don't have on the roster either, but pass out to number 17 on the sideline, and he picks up the first down out to the 44-yard line. So a good pickup for Franklin.
Let me tell you now, he made a big play because he ain't the biggest guy in the world.
Yeah, no doubt.
But he caught the ball and got it upfield and made a guy miss. He's one of my favorite ball players right now.
Okay, so Yusuf Abzadir, they had him listed as number 30, but he's number 10. Is that correct? Yusuf Abdikadir? Yeah. Abdikadir. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Abdikadir. Okay, we got it.
Okay, Rick, we need to find out who number 17 is for Franklin. Number 17 for Franklin.
Abdi Kadir. Is that correct? All right. We're working on it, you guys. So thank you very much. For those of you listening and watching, as you are helping us through here and making sure we're pronouncing names right.
Because they say back like they say back in the South, especially if it's your young'un, we want to make sure we get it right. Now I need to find out who number 17 is for Franklin.
All right, we'll get that.
Elijah Russ.
Okay, number 17, Elijah Rush. Russ. Okay, they have him listed as number 10, but he's number 17.
Yeah.
Thank you, folks. We will get this, and sorry, we're trying to get the roster set in the moment here. So thank you for your patience with us as we get this together. So Franklin, a loss on the play. It'll be 2nd and 14 from the 40-yard line, and there was a timeout on the play. So they call Eli Russ, number 17, for Franklin. They list him as mighty, and
yes, he is.
He's a little guy out there, but I tell you what, a guy after my own heart.
I'll take him.
Yes, sir.
Look at him block now.
Yep. And so the pitch to Vaughn on the right side, and he has nowhere to go, met by a host of white shirts, and he's going to be stopped for about a 2, maybe 3-yard loss. Yeah, 2-yard loss. So it's going to be 3rd and 16 from the 38-yard line for Franklin. So they're going backwards. After nice pickup on the pass for the first down, Edwin, they have been going backwards.
Well, my guy Eli Russ was in there blocking. That's why, I love a back that'll block.
Mighty
Eli.
Mighty looks like he's about 5'3", but I tell you what, he's getting the job done.
Hey, Rick, my favorite and the best high school player I played with in Savannah, Georgia was 5'3".
I remember you said that.
James German.
Yes, sir. So quarterback Dante Wright.
Oh, what a play.
Dante Wright. Oh, my goodness. He was hit.
There
was just everybody. Oh, and now I think they're going to be flagged for celebration. And, Edwin, again, we'll see what the call is, but it looks like – so let me reset if you didn't see the play. A lot of pressure on Franklin quarterback, and he was sacked. And then Dante Wright was sacked. And then celebration by the Nathan Hale team, it was not in a negative way directed toward the player at all as they were walking off the field and excited. I think they're going to call unsportsmanlike. And that's exactly what they did. They called it on Nathan Hale. And Edwin, I get it. I understand. You want to make sure there's good sportsmanship. There was nothing about that was unsportsmanlike in my opinion.
Somebody who got their hands on the ball who wouldn't normally have his hands on the ball.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't like nothing defense.
Yeah.
You know, I'm very, very biased towards offense. But that's just, that's just wasting time, man.
Yeah.
You know, the kid jumped as high as he could jump and pick the ball out of the air.
Yeah.
He should be excited.
So the turnover there as he got the ball, the Nathan Hale player, and with the celebration, they're going to move the ball back to the Franklin 42-yard line. So Nathan Hale it's a turnover there on the play. Nathan Hale now has it 1st and 10 on the Franklin 42-yard line, leading 7-0.
Oh, that's a good defensive play there.
And you got a couple of defensive players there for Franklin. That is number 7, Zaire Taylor. He was the first one there to stop the runner for a loss. And, of course, that was number 26, the workhorse, Tyler Satterwhite for Nathan Hale.
Well, the defense of Franklin is excited. That was a heck of a team defensive play.
Yeah, right.
They contained it, they supported it, and they came up and made the tackle.
So we got a timeout on the field. 3:51 left to play in the first quarter. And Nathan Hale leading Franklin by a score of 7-0. When we come back into action, when teams back on the field, it will be 2nd and 15 for Nathan Hale at the Franklin 47-yard line.
And if you listen real closely, you can hear the Franklin coach raising the roof on the building.
Just a wee bit, huh? Just a wee bit.
Just a scope.
Yeah. He ain't happy right now.
No, he ain't happy at all.
Come on, y'all.
Yes, sir.
But I tell you what, after that last play, I mean, the defense, had some push there on the line of scrimmage and came in at a good stop for a loss for the Franklin team. Z Taylor was the first one there, stopping the runner. So 2nd and 15 at the 47-yard line for Nathan Hale, leading 7-0 here. 3:51 left to play in the first quarter at Memorial Stadium. Rick Dupree, Edwin Bailey, Taylor Kareen, Daniel B., Tony B. We are all in the house, and we have this side of the stands all to ourselves just about.
Yes, sir.
All right.
As they say, pert near.
Yeah. So a quick out pass. That was quarterback Nathaniel Hess, and he's got his receiver, Edwin, I believe that was number 20.
Yeah. Franklin played pretty good defense, pretty good team defense.
And
but I tell you,
again, number 20.
Excuse me, Rick, but they don't have a lot of numbers now.
No, Franklin doesn't.
They might have 11 guys on the sideline.
Yeah, just about. So, again, I apologize. If you're listening and you know who number 20 is for Nathan Hale, let us know, because what I'm looking at on the roster, number one, it's alphabetical, so it makes it a little bit more difficult as we're looking for the number. But secondly, there are some players that looks like they have changed numbers. And we've got the quarterback, that is number 12, and he breaks a tackle, and it looks like he might breaks another tackle and inside the 10-yard line. Nathaniel Hess with an excellent run. There's a flag back at the 22, so some of this may come back. But Hess came around kind of a little option on the left side, and then cut it back to the right. Edwin made a few tacklers miss and took it all the way down inside the 10-yard line.
Something went on behind the ball. Something went on behind the ball.
What was that, Daniel? Tristan Adams is number 20 for Nathan Hale. Thank you very much, Tristan Adams. They have him number 20. They have him as number 2 on the roster here. So thank you very much. So again, I was saying earlier, the couple things that are making it a little bit more difficult for us on the roster is this is our first look at both of these teams. One is that it's alphabetical, not numerical. When it's numerical, you can easily quickly get to who it is, as we are identifying everybody by the number. And secondly, there clearly are kids that have different numbers than what are on the roster. And then there are some kids' names on the roster here with no number next to it. So we're going to do our best. Please hang in with us. I apologize. And we will continue to reach out to the coaches and see if we can get as accurate as possible rosters. And the pitch out, and that is Tyler Satterwhite. And Satterwhite cuts it back up, pitch out to the right. And I like what I saw there. Satterwhite got up on one of the Franklin players, just kind of tapped him on. I believe that was Charlie Welch. Tapped him on the helmet, just say, hey, good run, man. You like to see that type of sportsmanship out here.
Hey, the sportsmanship is incredible. And another thing, the parents are watching and listening to this. Yeah. Because every time we ask for a number, we get it.
We're getting it. Yeah. So
you parents, you all are on point too.
Yeah. So a pickup of about 3 yards. So it's 2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line. And Edwin, that reminds me, after this play, I'll mention that first broadcast we had the pitch out to Satterwhite, and And Satellite breaks the tackle in the backfield, gets a good block. But I tell you what, the pursuit there by Franklin, you've got number 62, number 11. You've got, that was Jalen Jones, Bubba Banks, and a number of players are 65 also.
Man. Rick, they're doing a lot of pursuit drill. Rick.
Yeah, Joseph Moss. And so a lot of pursuit there for Franklin and not letting Satterwhite get anywhere. And he is going to actually be stopped for a loss back to the 29. When you said thank you to the parents and they're listening, it reminded me of that very first broadcast we had. We were doing a doubleheader, and you said after that first game, I'm hungry, and you got some of the parents from the second game. They brought you some food up.
Man, I am forever indebted to those people. Man.
I think it was Ballard. Is it Ballard?
Sir. Yeah. And the food was outstanding.
You looked at me. I was looking at you. You said, "Well, man, a closed mouth don't get fed."
Hey,
you should have said something.
As I always tell them, I was hungry.
And not only did you look at me, it's like that fatherly advice. Said, well, son, a closed mouth don't get fed. Then guess what? You didn't offer me none.
No, I didn't. No, I had to go ahead and do that myself.
Yeah. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
But I'll tell you what, that's outstanding, man.
Yeah,
you know, because everybody's been locked up. Everybody's been a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and for us to need a number and just put it out there and get it right back.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I take my hats off to you parents, man, because you're going through a lot right now.
Yeah, we really appreciate that.
I really do.
So thanks for working with us. We know, a little bit unusual, but we're trying to get it right because what we want to do, we want to recognize these kids. I mean, they are out here and, so much because of COVID has been taken away for these kids in school and especially for the seniors. And this is bringing back a level of normalcy for them. And we certainly want to recognize them. And so thank you very much. The pitch out, and that is to number 14. I'll get his name in a minute. He's got number 10 leading him out there. And 14, a good run for the first down.
Yes, sir.
And that was a Yusuf Abdikadir. Thank you. Leading the runner, and that was a David Holden, number 14. And Holden picks up the first down to the 18-yard line. So Nathan Hale with 1:28 left to go here in the first quarter, leading 7-0. 1st and 10 on the Franklin 18-yard line. So you can hear a little bit here, usually, there's not huge crowds here, but obviously because of COVID, they're not allowing fans here. But Nathan Hale does have their cheer squad on the opposite side of the field that we are on. And that's nice to see. Yesterday, the game, we were at the Southeast Athletic Complex, and Rainier Beach had their cheerleaders out. And inside handoff, and not a lot there. That is, let's see who got that stop. Is that number 51, Edwin? I'm trying to see. Yeah, number 51 for Franklin. That is Jamal Mac-Mall Tyler with the stop. And it's going to be no gain. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Nathan Hale at the 18-yard line. I like what I'm seeing from Franklin. They do not have a lot of guys. Yeah, you're right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 guys, it looks like. 12.
Yeah, that's 51, Rick. My trusty binoculars.
Yeah, it looks like, if I'm counting right, Franklin's got 12 guys on the sideline. So a total of 23 guys, and they are getting it done. And the quick out pass to number 15, and that is what number 11 coming up for Franklin with the tackle, Bubba Banks. And he brings down.
Bubba Banks does well in the tackling drill.
Yeah, Jay Chan. And so it was just a quick little almost like a screen pass to Jay Chan. And Bubba came up and made the stop for actually another loss. So that's going to be the end of the first quarter. And Nathan Hale will have a 3rd and 10 at the 3rd and 10 at the, it looks like, I believe it's the 18-yard line. Yeah, that's where it was, the original line of scrimmage. So with that, I'm going to throw it to Daniel B. He's going to update us on some scores and other things going on, and we'll be back with second half action in just a moment right here on Rainier Avenue Radio.
Right, Rick. I'll start with some bad news for you, Ingram.
Hey.
52-0. Bishop Blanchette last night.
My alma mater.
Okay. Ingram falls to 0-2 on the season. Roosevelt took care of Lakeside. That was a 24-2 contest. O'Day with a huge blasting of Ballard. It was 41-7. On Rainier Avenue Radio last night, you witnessed Eastside Catholic shut out Rainier Beach 35-0. Earlier today, It was another shutout. It was Seattle Prep over Garfield. Some are calling that an actual upset. It's whatever you want to call it, but both of them are now 1-1 on the season. And also Chief Self defeating West Seattle in a big blowout as well, 40-17. And finally, Lincoln defeating Cleveland, 19-8.
Thank you for those updates, young man. And second quarter action starting. Nathan Hale.
Outstanding job.
A 3rd and 10. And a quarterback keeper and a fine stop there. That is number 60. Come on, turn around, young man. 62 for Franklin. And let's see, that is Jalen Jones, JJ. So Jalen Jones with a good stop on the quarterback keeper and holding him to only 5 yards. So that's going to now make it a 4th and 5. And Nathan Hale is going to bring out the kicking unit. And they're going to be looking at a 30-yard field goal try. So the start of the second quarter here, Nathan Hale leading Franklin 7-0. And the snap is high, but the holder quarterback brings it down. The kick is up, and he's got just enough.
Came short.
Yeah, was it short or was it left?
It was short.
Just a little short. All right. So the field goal, Franklin with
Franklin going.
Defensive stand there.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good series by Franklin defensively.
Yeah, it really was because Nathan Hale was driving and Franklin made the plays when they needed to make them to stop that drive. So we will have Franklin taking the ball over. And you know what? And so it used to be, and I don't know if the nicknames, I should know this, Edwin, are the same for the team. So that's why I'm just calling them Franklin and Nathan Hale.
Uh-huh.
Boy, okay, it is still the Quakers. Okay, well, I know. Look at Tony's like, that's where I went. You better know that.
Oh, God. Oh, man. That's the loudest he's been all year.
What's Nathan Hale? Oh, they are still the Raiders. Okay. I wasn't sure if they had changed or not because I was trying to look on the scoreboard. Okay, yeah, it does say F Quakers there.
Yeah, is that what that's saying? About to say quicksand.
And the Raiders. Okay. So with that being said, we will have a 1st and 10. There's a timeout on the field. Franklin will take over 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line after the missed field goal, trailing 7-0. We are at the start of the second quarter, 11:23 left to play, and we are ready to go. And in front of us, the Franklin cheer squad. So we will let you hear them a little bit.
I tell you, they can stomp real good.
Mm-hmm.
You should hear that all the way over in Bellevue, the way they're stomping.
Well, you coming from an HBCU, me spending some time there, we know.
Ooh.
Come on, Edwin.
Hey, what's it, the CIAA?
Uh-huh.
The woo-woo. Once they come out, all you can say is woo.
Yeah, buddy. I'm gonna tell you. Look, I'm gonna tell you. We talk about, and you and I have had this conversation. The FAMU 100s.
Oh,
and hold on. You can get to South Carolina State in a minute, but FAMU 100s. When I got there, high snap, and Franklin is just gonna follow. Oh, and the ball is loose, and now it looks like
touchdown.
Nathan Hale is gonna
touchdown.
Yeah, Nathan Hale got on it. That was number 44, if I'm not mistaken. So it was a high snap, and the Franklin quarterback could not pull it down. That was number 3, Dave Pitts, Angry Dave Potts, rather. No, check that. 3 was Dante Wright, and DT could not take that snap down, and he tried to fall on it and was not able to fall, and the ball went into the end zone. And then for Nathan Hale, that was number 44. Give me a second. I will find out who that is on the roster here. 44, Trenton Taylor recovered it in the end zone for the touchdown to give Nathan Hale a 13-0 lead. And the flag on the snap.
Well, Rick, the one person that needs to get it together, and he's kind of like he's losing it a little bit, is the center.
Yeah.
Because he's going to have to make that snap maybe 20 more times.
Well, yeah. You
so
definitely got to make sure.
He's got to get out of his own head right now.
Yeah. So the Nathan Hale kicker, Mario Marino, the penalty is against the Raiders, and so they will bring the ball back. And let's see where this extra point will be kicked from.
I think they marked it off wrong, Rick.
Yeah. So they come. Okay, I was saying, man, they're coming back pretty far.
Yeah.
So it's just back at about the the 15-yard line now. So this will be a 25-yard extra point try. High snap, but and it's blocked.
Pick it up.
Yeah, and that's dead. It's a dead ball. Yeah, dead ball after that. So Franklin, a lot of pressure in there. So I tell you what, again, Nathan Hale leading 13-0, but Franklin, the Quakers have been impressive, and these, it's a small team with only 20, 21, 22 players, but these kids have come here to play.
Yeah.
And or 23, I think we're kind of 12 on the sideline. So the Quakers, even though trailing 13-0,
I'm impressed with them.
They're very much in this ball game, very much.
I see the centers down there taking snaps, which is good.
Yeah, because again, they are everything they're running is from the gun. And
he's doing a good job of snapping it. I don't like that the way he's gripping that ball. He's grabbing the nose of it.
Yeah, I see that. That is number 53-ish.
I think it's
Ishmael
63.
Torres Valdez. 53.
Yeah, that is 53.
Yeah. All right. He said my eyes ain't getting that bad yet, are they?
Yeah.
Come on now.
Come on. You good. But I tell you what, he's got to give me a game snap.
Yeah,
don't just snap
exactly.
and turn around and look.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay on the sideline, but when you got somebody in front of you. So, Edwin, I was saying before the high snap and that play is that so you had the FAMU 100s. So I remember getting down and I wanted to play football, and I wasn't recruited by FAMU. So if a walk-on had to wait until the first day of class, which was mid-September, they had already started.
Yeah.
But got down there and had the tryouts and what have you. And the band, though, they were practicing. They had 3-a-days.
Yes, sir.
And I tell you what, I saw why, because they were phenomenal. That was Eli Mighty Russ.
Mighty has the best athletes on the campus in the band.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? So Mighty with the kick return brings it out to the 30-yard line. So the Quakers will start at the 30-yard line, 1st and 10 with 11:06 left to play. But yeah, so FAMU's band was just incredible. I mean, they were just, you talk about the majorettes, the drum major, everything. I mean, they just, come on, man. It was you talk about putting on a show. And after this next play, I'll tell you about our homecoming against Tuskegee and how that went.
Oh, that had to be a battle of the band.
Yeah, it was. And so Tuskegee's band played, and my freshman year there, we were the games were played at Doak Campbell Stadium at Florida State,
right?
Because FAMU Stadium was under renovation, and so Tuskegee's band went out and played, did their thing, and then FAMU's band played, and as soon as FAMU's band finished, the PA announcer over the PA at Doak Campbell Stadium, this is all he said, Edwin. He said, "Tuskegee, the difference is clear." Man,
he was starting trouble.
Oh, he was starting trouble. You talk about bands, and man, it was something getting down there down south, getting a taste of the South. Me being a northern boy, and because I'm fair skinned. You know what they call me, Evan, don't you?
Oh, red.
No, you high yellow.
High yellow.
You high yellow.
Not high yellow.
High yellow. High yellow. You high yellow. That's what girls. You high yellow.
Where you from? Well, the brother of the band director from FAM, his brother was the band director at South Carolina State. They were twins.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
And so you all were 100, but we was a little bit better. We was 101.
The 101s. Okay. So the snap, Dante Jones. A lot of pressure there.
Ton of pressure. He might be hurt.
And Dante Wright, forgive me, I said Jones. Dante Wright was sacked for a big loss. He had nowhere to go. The snap was a little bit high, but he was able to feel that it wasn't too bad. But he was sacked for about a 9-yard loss. So that's going to make it 2nd and 19 for Franklin at the 21-yard line. If you just joined us, Nathan Hale leading Franklin 13-0 here. 10:30 to play in the second quarter. We are live, the second of our doubleheader here at Memorial Stadium. I'm Rick Dupree along with Seahawks legend Edwin Bailey.
I want to see the snap, Rick.
Yeah, let's see.
Let me see what he's going to do. He's not.
And right under pressure and lets it go, and it is picked off and run in for a touchdown, Nathan Hale. That is number 55.
All of that's from the snap, Rick.
Gus Zarkades. But Gus with the interception. So Wright had a lot of pressure. Edwin was going back and just tried to dump it and get rid of it, and had nothing on it.
Yeah,
and Gus was there.
First, he had to corral it because, again, it was too high.
Yeah.
And then when he caught it, landed, and got back up to throw it again, he threw it to the wrong guy.
Yeah, he had nothing there. And so right now, I mean, what's killing Franklin is just some simple errors. Number one, getting that snap, to the quarterback, and then making sure he's got a little bit of time. But right now, like you said, he is gun shy because the snap, by the time he is able to corral it down, there's people in his face.
Yep. Well, Rick, having played for Willie Jeffries and Joe Turner, that would be done with by now.
Yes,
quarterback, the quarterback is under the center.
Yeah,
no more gun snap.
Exactly. And so the extra point is up and good. That makes it 20-0 here. 10:09 left to play in the first half. Nathan Hale leading Franklin. We are live at Memorial Stadium. Game 2 of our doubleheader. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. And then join us next week. We will have a doubleheader on Friday night right here for you, and invite you to tune in.
Look at it. Look at right here. Look at the coach and the player right there.
Oh, yeah.
You love him. And he's sending him out there.
And so, again, want to remind our listeners, join us next Friday night, the 19th of March. 5 o'clock, we'll bring you O-Day in Seattle Prep, immediately followed by Rainier Beach and Ballard right here on Rainier Avenue Radio .world. Your home for Metro League Prep football. And we are Saturday night under the lights at Memorial Stadium. There you go. See, Edwin, see the little car going up on the Space Needle. Look at the Space Needle.
Yeah, that has scared me twice.
Okay, so
already.
It's on the outside, and then you have windows there, so you're seeing everything. And then you get up in that new level there. They did a lot of renovations up there a couple of years ago, and so you have the glass bottom up there. And,
thank you.
Oh, it's a wonderful, just a beautiful sight. You go up there. It's cool. We got to do that sometime, man.
Thank you, Rick.
Oh, come on. You can do it, big guy.
Okay.
And a short kick, and Franklin, a player, drops on the ball on about the 32-yard line, maybe the 33, so the Quakers will take over 1st and 10 at that spot. But, yeah, you remind me, I've told the story before. When I worked for the Sonics, we had one of our major season ticket holder courtside events, at the Space Needle. And, there were a couple of guys, Reggie Evans, the rebounding machine.
Yes, sir.
Reg was like, he's like, Rick, I'm not going up there. He said, I'll stay down here. I'll greet whoever you want. I'll sign autograph. I'll do whatever you ask me to do.
But I ain't.
He said, but I ain't going up on that elevator. He said, oh, no. He said, that ain't happening, brother. You just need to know that. Yeah, big Reg, man.
By the time I got up there, I'd have been washed down in sweat.
Yeah, Reg was a beast on the boards, man. I tell you what. That first year, 04-05 season with the Sonics was something special. Nate McMillan's last year.
Nate, I'm watching Nate from I think his last year high school, straight through college, and into the NBA.
North Carolina State.
Yes, sir.
North Carolina State. Okay, and so barking out the signals for Franklin, and we have a delay of game.
Just a little bit too much time. And they're giving them 40 seconds on the clock.
It looks like 25 on the play clock, supposedly. So it looks like Franklin may have switched quarterbacks. I'm trying to see.
They got a big old fella back there now.
Yeah, it looks like it's a Tank. Number 24 is in the shotgun. So they're staying in the gun. But Tank now is at the quarterback position. He high snap, but he gets it, and he's just going to tuck it and run. And look, put the shoulder down.
Oh, my
That's
goodness.
why they call him Tank. Tank across the 30.
He told him, like Jim Brown used to say, here, take this with you.
Yep. So Tank takes it out and off from the penalty, gets about 3 of the 5 yards back. So it'll be 2nd and 12 at the 31-yard line for Franklin. And they're just going to, I almost like the Wildcat. You just get your runner back there and a guy who can, take that snap, and then he's going to tuck it and go or hand it off.
Yes, sir. He's a big, good-looking cat, though.
Carmonte Banks, Tank is what they call him. And he's calling the signals. He's got it. Fakes the handoff, and he's just taking up. Look at the way he's holding that ball like a bread basket, a loaf of bread, I should say. He's got some hand, and Tank gets some positive yards. And I think Franklin may have found something here. Tank takes it out to the 38-yard line, so that's going to make it 3rd and 5.
Well, he's making them pay now. You come up to tackle him, you better be ready.
Yeah, he's lowering that shoulder. And it's just like, okay, Nathan Hale, can you stop me? And it looks like what Franklin's going to do with him is Tank will make that decision. Is he going to hand it off, or is he going to pull it back and just run it himself?
Look at his backfield partner.
Yeah. Our guy, number 17, Mighty
Russ. Tank gonna soften you up.
Yeah,
They're gonna let Mighty take you out.
Yeah. The other little dude, what number is that? He got another little guy.
Yes, sir.
So Tank is towering over his two running backs. Tank calling now, telling his receiver, come in motion. Tank the handoff to Mighty.
Oh.
And nowhere to go for Mighty Russ. He stopped for a loss back to the 34-yard line. So he's going to lose about 5 there, Edwin. So now it's going to be 4th and 9 for the Quakers. And it looks like they'll bring out the punting unit. 8:07 left to go. Clock is running. We're in the first half. Nathan Hale leading Franklin by a score of 20-0. And just a couple of errors by Franklin. One was a high snap, and the quarterback could not. Dante Wright couldn't handle the snap, and it was almost blocked there, but a good punt by Franklin and good coverage. Ball's going to bounce back for Nathan Hale, and Franklin's got to get on it because and a Franklin player there.
Well, he was right a little bit because if he touched it, he can't. It couldn't be a turnover.
Right, yeah. But Franklin there, number 19, and I don't have a 19. So again, if you are listening, you know who number 19 is. Oh, check that. I'm sorry. That's a red, Charlie Welch. And so Welch downed it, and so it was a good punt, but the ball hit and then started bouncing back in positive yardage for Nathan Hale, and red got on it. So Nathan Hale take over 1st and 10 on its own 41-yard line. And I was saying that so a couple of just errors, bad snap over the head of the quarterback, and Nathan Hale was able to recover that in the end zone, and then pressure on the quarterback again, trying to get rid of it, and interception. And again, they were in the close to their end zone, in the red zone, the wrong red zone, if you will, inside the 20-yard line. But now a quick out for Nathan Hale. And that is number 14, David Holden. Holden's got some room. He's going to get a big gain across midfield into Quaker territory down to the 30. Let's see where they spot it. I'm going to say the 35-yard line, I believe, Edwin.
Yep. That kid can run, too.
So big gainer there. Quarterback Nathaniel Hess finding David Holden.
Good pitch. Good pitch and catch.
And David Holden, if I'm not mistaken, his probably grandfather, great-grandfather, the Holden family, a very musical, one of the great, and I'm not sure if that is one in the same, but of the same name, David Holden, a great musical family. Linda Holden Givens written a book about the family and their musical exploits. And the pitch, and that is on the right side, that is number 26, Tyler Satterwhite. And Satterwhite's going to get a gain of about 6 yards, Edwin. I'll call it 5 to the 30-yard line, I think is where they're going to spot her, just shy of the 30.
Okay. Oh, somebody done got tossed. Somebody said something to the official. Somebody done got tossed.
The official threw his white hat.
Then he threw his hat. When he threw the hat.
That means you out, huh?
That means something's going on.
All right, let's see.
I see number 55. Is that 66? 65?
55 for Nathan Hale walking off the field.
Yeah.
So I was saying holding on Nathan Hale, and then a dead ball foul and sportsmanlike on Nathan Hale. So it's going to be first down, but it's coming back. Yeah, I'm trying to hear if the PA announcer saying that somebody was kicked out of the game. Because, yeah, you're right. The official with the white hat, the referee made
when the white hat had something up. Wow.
So this is going to go back quite a way.
Track.
This is probably going to go back about 25 yards. Let's see where they take it.
Almost to Tacoma.
Yeah. the line of scrimmage is 35. So let's see how far they're bringing. Oh, yeah, they're bringing it back. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 27 yards.
I ain't never seen a 27-yard penalty now. And I've been around football for a little while.
Yeah. Well, I think, again, as we have learned from the spot of the foul, so it ends up being 27 yards from the line of scrimmage. So it's going to be 1st and 37, and Nathan Hale at their own 38-yard line.
Did they announce a disqualification?
No, I did not hear that, but we saw number 55 for Nathan Hale running off the field, so we'll see.
He was leaving with some haste. Oh.
So the pitch, Satterwhite again. He's got some room on the left side, but good pursuit there. Franklin Satterwhite gets by a couple guys.
Out of that, man.
And then lower the shoulder, and then some jawing going on. And Satterwhite's like, hey, don't get up in my face. Shoot.
They better come under control.
Yeah,
That's what Mr. Satterwhite.
Tyler Satterwhite, lower in the shoulder. I like the way he runs. I mean, he's got quick feet. He makes guys miss, but then when it's point of contact, he's lowering the shoulder and he's getting some punch in there and getting some positive yards. You know, you talk about positive yards after contact. He's getting it.
I tell you what, they had him pinned to the sideline and he came out of there.
Yeah, he really did. So pickup of about 6 yards out to the 44. So still a second and a mile to go. They got to get all the way down to the 25-yard line.
I tell you what now, Rick, I changed the quality of my shoes, man, and my feet are not cold today.
Yes, sir. I'm checking you out. Well, I put on a second pair of socks, and likewise, it's a little bit warmer as well.
Yeah.
And the pitch out, and that is to number 21. He cuts it up. And 21 is, thank you for your patience here, folks. There goes Jajani Gabru or Jabru.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Jajani 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 and Gabru. I'll pronounce it that if I'm mispronouncing, you hear it, let us know. So Gabru with the pickup to the 46-yard line of Franklin. Third and long. And the pitch out, cut it, and that's Holden.
Tell you what.
Holden, nice move outside, makes another guy miss it. Holden down to about the 30-yard line. David Holden with a nice run, Edwin.
I'm telling you, those guys are doing a good job of containing it, but those inside backers and those safeties on the line of scrimmage are not coming up and supporting them.
Yeah, so what's happening, like you said, they're forcing it in, but
yes.
what Nathan Hale is doing, the runners are cutting it up and then coming back outside, and that pursuit's not there. And David Holden with a good run there. And to give Nathan Hale a chance, now it's going to be 4th and 5. Balls at 4th and 7. We'll call it 6 at the 31. And they have to get down to the 25. So 4th and a long 5, short 6.
I'm telling you, well, they've been successful. If anything they want to do, they want to pitch it to the wide side of the field and stretch them out there.
That'll be to the left side. And in the backfield, you've got
they've been successful with it now. Let's see if they'll pull it off.
Got 21, Gabru, and you got a receiver wide open. The pass is short, though, but the receiver comes back and gets it. A great catch, a great adjustment there. That was Jaheim Fritz.
Wow.
Jaheim.
That was a great call.
Yeah. And so quarterback Nathaniel Hess underthrew him, and the defender just kind of lost the ball, Edwin, because if the defender would have seen the ball, he could have picked it off. But Jaheim Fritz came back and made the catch down at the 5-yard line. So that'll be a first down on the 4th down play. So with 4:57 left to play, Nathan Hale 1st and 10, leading it 20-0. 1st and 10 on the Franklin Quaker 5-yard line, trying to punch it in for another score here to extend that lead.
Let's come to the wide side over here.
And the handoff right up the middle. Oh, and a great stop, a tackle, I believe. Edwin, give me that number.
Let me see. I got you.
Getting up. Number, was that 44? I believe it was 44.
That's 44.
Uno, Dave Pugh. And Pugh met the ball carrier at the line of scrimmage.
Right in the
and
hole.
Held him right there, man. Lifted him up and knocked him back for no gain. So, or maybe a half a yard gain. But, boy, I tell you what, that was one hit.
Yes, it was.
By Pugh to make the stop there. So it'll be 2nd and goal just inside the 5-yard line for Nathan Hale. And the pitch out and the cut back. But
that's another good defensive play there.
Yeah, it really is. But I tell you what, that was fighting Jajani Gabru, and he was fighting. He was stopped at the line of scrimmage, and he kept fighting and took it all the way down to just inside the 1-yard line. So that's going to make it 3rd and less than a yard. 3rd and goal, less than a yard to go for the touchdown for Nathan Hale. 3:52 left to go, leading 20-0 over Franklin.
Let's see what he's going to do. Man, I'll go quarterback sneak.
Well, they've got the power I, 2 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right. And quarterback Nathaniel Hess under center. And Hess gets it turned.
Whoa!
And, I believe that was number 24, the big man there for Franklin. And when I tell you what, Tank
tackled everybody.
Tank, he read that play and made penetration and stopped the ball carrier for a loss back to, it looks like about the 2 or 3 yard line.
Tackle the quarterback,
man,
the lead back, and the tailback, all of them.
Edwin, I'm going to tell you what, so far in the 2 games we have done last night and now tonight, Tank is a guy who I know for a Belly Bumper Award is got to be at the top of the list, but I'm looking at him as player of the week so far. He is
the kid is wreaking havoc.
Yeah, he really is. And even though Franklin trailing 20-0, handoff right up the middle, and there you go. Of course, come back to your money man, and that is number 26, Tyler Satterwhite. He takes it in for the touchdown for Nathan Hale as the Raiders go ahead 26-0 here. 2:34 left to play in the first half. And, typically you don't always necessarily want to give it to the winning team, but I tell you what.
I'm going to give it to the guy that plays the best.
Yeah, there you go. And Tank is playing one heck of a game.
Let me tell you.
I am impressed with that young man. So, again, if you just joined us, we are live at Memorial Stadium. Rick Dupree along with Edwin Bailey. And we are bringing you the second of our doubleheader here and more flags on the play. So we'll redo the extra point here. Second of our doubleheader in the first game, Seattle Prep, a 28-0 winner over Garfield, forgive me. And right now, Nathan Hale leading Franklin by a score of 26-0, 2:34 left to play. And looking for the extra point here.
I see number 24 right down there.
Tank.
24, man.
Yeah.
Like I say, he passed the eye test.
Yeah, he has been impressive.
He passed the eye test.
Yeah, he's just a guy that Nathan Hale has had trouble blocking. He has certainly caused a lot of havoc up there in that interior line. Extra point, there's some movement, and the extra point is blocked. And the second extra point that Franklin has gotten some penetration. I mean, there's
right up the gut.
Edwin, I'm going to tell you what. I mean, there's been some good things, and 2 of the scores that Franklin has given up, have been. Again, I'm not going to say fluke plays, but plays where you get a high snap and, again, pressure on the quarterback, and he just tries to dump it off and, just an errant pass. And you take those 2 scores away, and now you're looking at a 12 or 14-0, not a 26-0 game.
Yep. And then you take back the 2 turnovers.
Yeah.
If they get half the points out of the 2 turnovers, it's a 6-point game.
Yeah. That's a really good point. A really good point. So I think, if I'm one of the things I'm telling my team at halftime, 2:34 left to play, so you still got some time here in the first half. But I'm pointing out those things. Hey, you guys, we clean up these mistakes, and now they have put Tank in at as that taking the snap and as quarterback, and he's just taking the ball and running and punishing guys.
Yeah, and you got to be careful with him because you don't want him to do too much. As much as you need him.
But Edwin, let me tell you something. These guys at that age, it's like, okay, 16, 17, 18 years old. You work me. I'm a workhorse.
Look at him, too.
Yeah.
He's a big old good-looking kid, man.
So basically what Franklin did the last series is had Tank kind of as a wildcat. I was losing my train of thought. There's Mighty on the return. Mighty makes a couple guys miss, and he takes it out to the 35.
I see why Mighty out there.
Yeah. You see why he's called Mighty.
Yes, sir.
He might only be 5. I don't know what we don't have their heights or weights listed on the roster, but Mighty looks like he's about 5'3". Definitely, maybe 5'5". Nice. Maybe.
I think he's 5.
But I tell you what, I see why they call him Mighty.
He can play on my team.
Yes, indeed. He's got some heart.
He can definitely play on my team. Because I'm impressed with his willingness to block.
Yeah. And then here he is. He's lined up. And so we've got Dante Wright back in at quarterback. Mighty is one of the running backs. You got 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. And Dante's just going to get it and go. Spins. He's got some room. And good tackle coming up for Nathan Hale. That is number 44. Trenton Taylor with a good tackle. And stops Wright for no gain. And I'm looking at Tank here on the sideline, and I'm not sure he's walking around, so I don't think there's anything wrong. Edwin, I thought Franklin found something that last series, put Tank at that wildcat, snapping him, let him go.
Yep, I'm with you.
Because, again, Wright just is not as dominant runner, obviously, as Tank. So Wright's got the ball, spins to his right. He's got some pressure. He dumps it off to
Mighty.
Mighty. Mighty's got a little bit of room. Mighty breaks a tackle and then is knocked down and coming over.
I'm tell you what,
Ooh.
he had to go like that to knock him down.
Yeah. Trenton Taylor coming over, makes a good hit on Mighty on the sideline. But tell you what, young number 17, Mighty Eli Russ.
What's his class?
Mighty is a junior.
Ooh. And one thing I like about Mighty plays multiple positions.
Yes, he does. And now he's lined up wide. The middle receiver of the three receivers split out to the left. It'll be 3rd down and 7 to go for the Quakers. And Wright looking to his right. He's got a receiver open, finds him, and he's going to have a 1st down. And that was, looks like number 4, if I'm not mistaken, Edwin.
Yeah.
Is that accurate?
I tell you what, Rick, they got the players offensively to be productive.
Yeah, they do.
They just got to get them all on the field at the same time.
And I don't see, so if you're listening and you know who number 4 for Franklin is, let us know. He made that catch. Wright looking to his left, avoids the pressure. Now he's just going to run it, trying to get away. He's going to be
back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, just maybe a yard short. Yeah, I think they're going to mark it at the 45-yard line. So give Nathan Hale a credit for a sack and a loss of 1 with only 21 seconds left to go. That may, Franklin may get one more play off. They're trying to at least. The clock is moving at 15 and 14.
I think they snap. At like 3 seconds or 4 seconds.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's going to be. And,
and
then he just goes down.
They snapped the ball, but he wasn't even looking.
Yeah, he wasn't ready. Yeah. So that'll do. So they snapped the ball. Quarterback Dante Wright wasn't expecting it, got it, and just went down. And so that's going to do it for the first half here at Memorial Stadium of game number 2. Nathan Hale leading Franklin by a score of 26-0. I'm Rick Dupree along with Edwin Bailey, and I think we're going to throw it to Daniel B., and we'll get some scores and a little bit of what's been going on all day here in Metro League and other football around, the city at least. And then Edwin and I will be back to bring you the second half action right here at Memorial Stadium, Leon H. Brigham Field, under the lights and under the shadow of the Space Needle. And we will be back with second half action right now. Daniel, what do you got for us, man?
Yeah, thank you, Rick. Yesterday, there was football action here in the Metro League, and just recapping some of those scores for you. You had Eastside Catholic with the blowout of Rainier Beach, 35-0. With the big win, Eastside Catholic takes sole possession of the Metro League Mountain football lead, 2-0. And Rainier. And with that loss, you fell to 0-2 for Rainier Beach right there. O'Day with the big win over Ballard, 41-7. O'Day and Ballard both moved to 1-1 on the season. Roosevelt and Lakeside were 24-2. Roosevelt with the big win over Lakeside there, take full possession of the Metro League Sound football standings at 2-0. And Lakeside with that loss goes to 1-1 on the season. Bishop Blanchette with a huge win over Ingram, 52-7, a huge blasting right there. Ingram falls to 0-2 on the season. Bishop Blanchette, that was their first game of the year, and they took it with 1-0. Chief Self with a big win over West Seattle. That was a 40-17 shellacking right there. Chief Self at 1-1 on the season. West Seattle also at 1-1. And Lincoln, who Nathan Hale beat last week in the first week of the year, they got their first win to go 1-1 on the season over Cleveland, 19-8. That loss dropped Cleveland to 0-2 to the bottom of the Metro League Valley football standings. So again, the standings for Metro right now, as they stand, if you're looking at the mountain, you got Eastside Catholic up at 2-0 in the lead. You got 4 teams tied for second with 1-1. That is Garfield, O'Day, Ballard, Seattle Prep, all 1-1. And Rainier Beach sits in the cellar at 0-2. as they try to get their first victory of the year, hopefully in week 3. In the Sound, Roosevelt has sole possession at 2-0. Bishop Blanchette hasn't lost a game, but they're still sitting at they're sitting in second place because they only played one game. Lakeside and Chief Self all both at 1-1 on the season, and Ingram is at 0-2. In the Metro League Valley football standings, Nathan Hale at 1-0, and Lincoln and West Seattle both at 1-1. Franklin is currently in the middle of their first game of the season, so right now they're still at 0-0. And Cleveland, unfortunately, has lost their first 2 and sits in the bottom of the Valley standings. Soccer scores from the game against Franklin 6-0. Roosevelt with a close one over Seattle Prep, 1-0. Destroyed Cleveland 4-0. Lakeside winning over Ballard 2-0. West Seattle in a close one over Eastside Catholic 3-2. And Lincoln and Nathan Hale tied at 1 apiece. The standings for girls soccer stands at Roosevelt with the lead at 2-0. Lakeside with a win and a tie. Seattle Prep with a win and a loss. Ballard and Lincoln both with a loss and a tie. Nathan Hale also with a loss and a tie. Bishop Blanchette and Ingram have both lost their first contest of the year and sit on the bottom of those standings. For the girls' soccer sound standings, Holy Names, Garfield, and West Seattle are all undefeated on the year, all at 2-0. Rainier Beach has yet to play a contest. Their first game was actually on Wednesday, but it was canceled due to rain that we're being told. So they are 0-0 on the season. Franklin, 1-2. Cleveland has lost their first contest, and Eastside Catholic and Chief Self lost both of their first contests and sit on the bottom of the sound standings for girls soccer. Volleyball action. Looking at that from Wednesday, Seattle Prep with the win over Roosevelt 3-1. Chief Self over Rainier Beach 3-0. And we're waiting on some scores from Ballard versus Lakeside, Garfield versus Cleveland, Bishop Blanchette versus Ingram, Nathan Hale versus Lincoln, and Franklin versus Holy Names. If you're listening in and you know those scores of those volleyball games, let us know and we'll add it to our scoreboard here at Rainier Avenue Radio. We're doing our best to find all these scores here for you and report them to you live. Looking at the standings for volleyball in the Mountain, you got Seattle Prep at 2-0 in the lead. Ballard, Lakeside are both at 1-0 on the season. Roosevelt at 1-1. Bishop Blanchette, Ingram, Lincoln, and Nathan Hale, all 4 of those squads lost their first contest of the year and all sit at 0-1 on the bottom of the Mountain standings for volleyball. And in the Sound, Eastside Catholic, West Seattle, Garfield are all tied on the top with winning their first contest of the year, 1-0. Chief Self and Rainier Beach, 1-1 on the season, each apiece. Cleveland, Franklin, and Holy Names all have lost one contest and sit on the bottom of the volleyball sound standings. Looks like we have about 8 minutes before we go to the second half here on Rainier Avenue Radio. Nathan Hale currently pitching a shutout against Franklin, 26-0 at the half. And one more time with the football scores. Yesterday, you had Seattle Prep. This morning, you had Seattle Prep shoot a shutout against Garfield, 28-0. And then yesterday, the action right here on Rainier Avenue Radio, you had Eastside Catholic pitch a shutout against Rainier Beach, 35-0. That score is definitely not indicative of that first half. It was actually Eastside Catholic 7, Rainier Beach 0, and then things kind of fell apart after that. O'Day with a huge blowout of Ballard, 41-7. Roosevelt with another blowout, 24-2 over Lakeside. And the blowouts continued with Bishop Blanchette, 52 over Ingram with 7. And Chief Self 40, West Seattle 17. And finally, the second game of the doubleheader yesterday at Memorial Stadium, Lincoln with the victory over Cleveland. I don't know what you call a bowling competition, and broadcast it live here on Rainier Avenue Radio. Go ahead and download our app. You're going to go find that on Android and iPhone, both of those platforms. And just go there, and it's free, of course, and just one click, and you're already listening in. Once you download that app, just click the app, open it up, and you're already playing the station from there. All right, it looks like we got about 2 minutes before we throw it back to Rick and Edwin. And we appreciate you as always here on Rainier Avenue Radio. We've kept on the air ever since COVID. I know a lot of people have been challenged since then. It looks like we might be going to Ty here. Are we going to Ty from the food? Are we going to Ty?
We are going to go to Ty. Daniel, Ty, can you hear me?
His mic seems to my mic is muted, not his. Ty, say something.
Okay, well, we'll see.
We're not hearing anything.
Let me see. Ty, go ahead and turn your mic up if you can.
Try to do him artificially. Yeah, I can't hear you, Ty.
Well, Ty, you stay there. Shake your head if you can hear me.
He can hear us.
Okay, he can hear us, and that is DJ Smooth T, who was hosting the fish fry today, and the fish fry turned out great. Right, Brother Ty?
Just go ahead and nod, man. We can't hear you.
And also today we did do our free food giveaway again, right, Brother Ty? Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Well, we don't have the audio there, but did want to bring him on and talk about how the fish fry went. So maybe we'll see if we can make that happen in the third quarter. We're getting ready to get back here to our game shot, and thanks, Ty, for joining us. All right. So we got about 15 seconds left. We're going to turn you back over to Rick Dupree and Mr. Edwin Bailey.
All right, and we are ready for second half action. Nathan
Yes,
Hale,
we are.
Nathan Hale leading 26-0. They are going to kick it to Franklin. And Edwin, I want to have you share some of those comments that we're talking about. Franklin actually playing not a bad game, even though they're trailing 26-0. And save for a couple of errors and what have you, they could be right in this ball game. But they've got they fielded a nice squad and doing a great job coaching both sides of the ball. Actually,
They're doing a great job.
So Franklin on the short kick will take it over at their 37, maybe 38-yard line. Let's see where they spot the ball. Yeah, the nose of the football just touching the 38-yard line. So Franklin will have it 1st and 10 on the 38-yard line, starting the second half here, trailing 26-0. And I'm trying to see, Edwin, is that, let's see, at quarterback. No, I think Dante Wright. And Dante, the handoff to, is that Mighty?
Yeah.
And nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go because nobody could block that fella there.
Was that number?
It looked like 94.
Well, I know number 10 was in there. That was a Yusuf Abdikadir, among
10,
other players there.
Number 10 is like number 44.
44. And again, that was Trenton Taylor. And so they stopped Mighty for about a 3-yard loss back to the 35-yard line. So that'll make it second and 13, forgive me, second and 13 for Franklin. 2 receivers split wide to the left, the wide side of the field, 2 to the right, 1 running back. And now the big guy, Tank, in motion. And the handoff and looking for some running room, nowhere to go. Yeah. And I tell you what, you've got, again, Yusuf, Abdi Kadir, along with Gus Zacardis, Zarkades, maybe.
Yeah, this Nathan Hale team, man, you got to get that ball up inside before you start to bounce it.
And again, I apologize if I'm pronouncing names incorrectly. I think it's Gus Zarkades back there for the stop. So it'll be third now, and it looks like about 15 to go for Franklin.
Might be a chance for good play action.
Yeah, okay, and the snap has improved, Edwin. The snaps weren't as high, but right under pressure. He's going to scramble to his right and drops the ball. The ball's on the turf, and I think it may have gone out of bounds. And pressure was being applied there by Trent Taylor. Nathan Hale did jump on it. So Trenton Taylor was among the players pursuing, and Dante Wright, again, holding that ball like a loaf of bread. That's what my coach used to always say. My hands aren't that big. They said, Dupree tucked the ball in, and that's what Dante Wright needed to do. But he was holding it in one hand, and it was knocked loose. And Nathan Hale recovers it at the 30-yard line. So again, Edwin, just critical errors like that, things that are very, very solvable.
That keeps them behind the ball.
Yeah, that's really hurting Franklin tonight.
This would be a great time for Nathan Hale to go up top.
So Nathan Hale, quarterback Nathaniel Hess, and high snap, and whistles blow, and maybe
luckily for Nathan Hale.
Yeah, for the better for Nathan Hale, because Franklin was coming at them, and they're going to say, I don't know what that call is. The reference against Franklin. Let's see those.
I think they might have jumped offside.
They're marking off 5 yards. So it's going to make it 1st and 5 at the Quaker 25 for Nathan Hale.
Well, Rick, I got to say hello to my family over in Shorewood. The Ernest family, my mother and father, Steve and Melissa.
And who might they be the parents to?
One Tyler Ernest.
Your brother.
My brother.
All right, and the handoff up the middle and then bouncing out to the left is Tyler Satterwhite. And Satterwhite, I tell you, makes something out of nothing almost every time he touches the ball. I'm impressed with this young man.
Hey, Satterwhite is a talented running back. Man.
Yeah, he really is.
He bounced that ball and got that ball outside of those numbers very, very quick and was balanced up while he was doing it.
Satterwhite, a senior, and I would be curious to find out if he's got some colleges writing him, and
if he don't, he should
calling his phone, because he's an impressive running back. And so the handoff, runner in motion, I believe that is David Holden. It is Holden. Yeah, Holden kind of just he kind of stutter stepped and then turned the jets on, picked up about 5 on that.
He gave him the limp leg.
Yeah,
gave him the dead leg, and then got upfield for 5.
So David Holden, another senior, and they have played him. Holden looks a receiver, but he's lined up in the backfield a couple of times, and they've given him that was kind of like end around. He came from left to right, and now Holden is lined up wide to the left. He is the inside receiver. And handoff.
Oh, that was a good play, but the defender couldn't make the tackle.
Yeah. And that was Tristan Adams broke the tackle in the backfield. Should have been stopped for a loss, but got some positive yards. And I believe, Edwin, he's going to be just short of the first down. So it's going to be 3rd and about a yard to go. Ball is the nose of the football right on the 5-yard line. So Nathan Hale driving, trying to add to their 26-0 lead here in the 3rd quarter. 9 minutes left to go as the clock is ticking.
Franklin has to realize that they are not a bad football team.
Yeah. And this is their first game, and just tough. Satterwhite gets the handoff up the middle, and he just stutter steps, goes to his left and in the end zone for the touchdown. Tyler Satterwhite takes it in for Nathan Hale. So with 8:42 left to go in the 3rd quarter, Nathan Hale adding to that lead, making it now 32-0.
Wow.
So tough way for Franklin to start out. They started the second half and advanced the ball out, had good field position, and unfortunately a turnover And Nathan Hale takes advantage of it. The extra point is up and good. So that gives the Raiders a 33-0 lead here. 8:42 left to play. Rick Dupree along with Edwin Bailey.
The numbers sound better than it actually really is.
Yeah, it is not as bad. You're right, Edwin, as the score would appear. Again, some critical errors, but again, all things that can be corrected. It's not like Nathan Hale's come in and just overwhelmed Franklin.
Right.
Franklin's got a lot of talent, and we're talking about Franklin a lot because this is a school that has had trouble fielding a team the last few years.
Yes, sir. And if you look at them, you wouldn't think that they're competitive.
Right.
They got some. I love it. I love the kids that they have out there. I love it.
Yeah. So and again, Edwin, I mean, I think you make a good point. They seem to be well coached, and again, some errors, some things that you go back to, the practice field next week, and these are things that are very, very easily correctable.
Yeah, and if you've never been out there, you wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
But these kids are out there, man, and they're not the biggest, they're not the tallest, they're not the fastest, but they're out there. And I love them for that.
Yeah, and they are showing a lot of heart.
Yes.
I keep forgetting to remind our listeners as well. I'm sure you're on our visual platforms, but YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, you can see the video of the game. You can hear my call, Edwin's call, and the kick is going to be fielded at the 29-yard line, and the other Franklin player had his knee down. And so in high school football, yeah, your knee can't touch. If it does, it's down right there.
He bent down pretty good, but I don't think his knee actually touched.
Yeah,
I guess
the referees begged to differ, and they blew the whistle.
They got to get involved now.
And that was number 4. I don't have a number 4 on the Franklin roster. So if, again, anyone listening, if you know who that is, let us know. Just send us a message, and we will get the number next to his name, and we will call out his name.
I like Mighty.
Yes, number 17, Eli Mighty Russ, the junior. So the Quakers again with Dante Wright at quarterback. He's got 2 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. He's looking to his left. Got a receiver open and hits that receiver out there. That's number 19. Charlie Red Welch. And Welch picks up about 2, maybe 3 yards. They're going to give him 3 yards out to the 32-yard line. So a good tackle there, not letting Red get any more yardage. That was a long pass, but Wright got it out there to Red. So the Quakers now on the left hash. So they got 2 receivers wide to the right, 2 to the left on the short side of the field, 1 running back in the backfield. And Dante Wright looking, he's going deep. He's got a receiver going up a little bit high, and it's going to be picked off. And that is number 20 for Nathan Hale down the right sideline. Breaks the tackle, he's still going. Edwin, he may go. He's going to be knocked down. He's finally brought down.
Right at like the 12 or the 13.
And that was number 20, Tristan Adams with the pick, and a great return down to the 15-yard line. Finally brought down, and I believe that was, looking on the Franklin roster, I think it was number 67 that brought him down. I don't see a 67 on the roster either. But a good tackle there, almost literally a touchdown-saving tackle.
Yes, it was.
So Nathan Hale with 7:42 left to go here in the third quarter takes over 1st and 10 on the Franklin 15 with a commanding 33-0 lead. And again, Edwin and I want to emphasize, I mean, the score is not indicative of the quality of play. And again, some critical errors by Franklin, but nothing that can't be corrected. And if I'm the Franklin coaching staff, you don't want to be trailing 33-0, but there's some good things you're seeing, and there's still a lot of game left to be played.
Yes.
And hopefully you can correct some of those things here in this game. But certainly you have, you have your marching orders. You know what you need to do over the weekend practice. So offsides on the defense there, so that's going to make it 1st and 5 for Nathan Hale now on the 10-yard line. And whistles blow again, and I think there may be some movement, so Nathan Hale going to give that 5 yards right back.
Yeah.
Yep, they are. So we'll start back at the original line of scrimmage at 15. It'll be first at the 15-yard line, I should say. It'll be first and 10. 7:41 left to play in the third quarter. Nathan Hale in our second game of the doubleheader, leading Franklin 33-0. Earlier game, you heard it, Juan Cotto, Granville Emerson with the call, and Seattle Prep, where Granville Emerson is at. One of the teachers, coaches there, and they were a 28-0 winner over Garfield, rather. And a stutter step by, oh my goodness, Edwin had a great run. That is Tyler Satterwhite. Stutter step, stiff arm, took it all the way in 15 yards for the touchdown. And Nathan Hale now just taking control of this ball game, and they go up with that score 39, I believe. It was 33.
Yes, sir. Satterwhite ran in the arms of one defender and backed out.
Yeah. And then a little stutter step and a stiff arm someone else, took it all the way into the end zone.
Gave him the limp leg and went to the end zone. Wow.
Okay, maybe I was seeing the scoreboard wrong, but now it's saying 38. I thought it was 39.
Well, Rick, you know how they do us now. They fool us a lot now.
All right. I should say I thought it would have been 39. Wasn't it 33-0 or was it 32-0?
I can't remember.
Okay,
I've had a lot of concussions.
Well, and the extra point is up, and it is good. So with that,
the kicker got a nice leg.
Yeah, he really does. He had the one field goal that fell a little bit short, but he's showing that he does have some leg there. So with that score and extra point, Nathan Hale now leading Franklin by a score of 39-0. And maybe, Edwin, it was wishful thinking because I think it's the 40-point rule is when the mercy rule goes in and the clock doesn't stop. So maybe that's where my mind was. We are here at Memorial Stadium, and the Franklin cheer squad in front of us.
I'm gonna tell you, they do a lot of stomping, man. I'd have shin splints if I stomped like that.
So 8 of their cheer squad in front of us, and then across the field, Nathan Hale has a 10 of their cheer squad, and they're trying to encourage their team on. And then really, I mean, as we look across, there is nobody else in the stands. We're
the only people here.
Yeah, we are, filling the stands on the one side here, the same side as the.
I might bring my brother with me one of these nights.
All right.
We'll possibly get in trouble.
You'd enjoy that. Okay, now they do correct. Okay, so Edwin, I wasn't dreaming. Now they correct the scoreboard. It's 40. So thank you. I knew it. Okay.
You passed math. Man, you didn't have to go to FAMU, but I'm sure you did.
And so the kick is fielded at about the 12-yard line. Whoa. I believe that was number 20 for Franklin.
Was that Mighty?
No, it wasn't Mighty. Again, and thank you as you were listening and watching this for our delay. The rosters, we've been struggling a little bit with the rosters. The numbers of the players have switched some. So in other words, what is showing on the roster is incorrect. And then the rosters are alphabetical, and that makes it really difficult because we know these players by number. And so as you look at the number, then you're trying to find, okay, where's number one? And it's not the first one on there,
Yep.
So one of the things we'll do, and the coaches have been great. And so we have their contact information. We'll email them out. And if they can get us something electronic, we can manipulate the rosters the way we need it. That is Mighty with the handoff, little pitch to the right, and he has nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped for about a 5-yard loss there, Edwin.
Hey, man, they're not giving my guy Mighty no blocking. I might need to go out there. Give me a helmet and do something for Mighty.
Do a little something for him,
yeah. Man, I can't take it. I love Mighty, man.
Yeah.
Mighty, that's my guy.
You give him a little room, and I tell you, that's all he needs.
That's it. I'm probably gonna get knocked out in the first play.
Yeah.
So I had to call my boy Tyler Ernest to come and get me.
Edwin, Franklin had one series where they had the big guy, Tank Carmonte Banks, in it, kind of that in the shotgun, and I love that because he is such a load. I believe that's him lined up in the slot there, the inside receiver on the right side. Yeah. He runs out pattern and nowhere to go. I tell you what, Dante Wright had nowhere to go. And he's going to be sacked for a big loss back to about the 15-yard line.
And the kid here, number 8, is that 18 right there, Rick?
for Franklin.
Yeah,
19, I think 19. It is. Yeah,
he was running wide open.
Yeah,
if he had just a half a second just to throw the ball up, he could have caught it.
Yeah, but DT couldn't. DT Wright had, he had 5-6 white shirts right in front of him. He had nowhere to go, and so he was not able to get the ball out of his hands. He was sacked back at the 15-yard line. So that's going to make it 3rd and about 25.
Look at number 2 here from Nathan Hale, man. That's a long kid.
Oh, yeah. Right, looking to his right, and he gets it to Tank, and Tank nowhere to go. Yeah. A great tackle there. It just couldn't get started. And I'm trying to see the number. I believe that was our guy, number 26, Tyler Satterwhite. And Satterwhite coming up with the stop. So you're seeing these kids go both ways. And so Franklin was just trying to do a quick, almost like a quick screen, out there, and Wright hit Tank out there, but Tank had nowhere to go. Carmonte Banks, and so he was stopped for no gain. So Franklin will be forced to punt it. 4:21 left to play. Nathan Hale leading 40-0.
I don't know if they got enough guys on the field.
Franklin, looks like they might be short. Kick is up, and it's the punt is off, and and they get a good bounce. It's going to bounce out of bounds. Yeah. So it's going to go out of bounds at about I think they're going to spot it right around the 45-yard line. So Nathan Hale will take over 1st and 10 on their 45-yard line. Leading by a score of 40-0 here. 3:53 left to go in the 3rd quarter. We are live at Memorial Stadium, and this is the second of our doubleheader here. And then join us again Friday night. We'll bring you another doubleheader starting at 5 o'clock, and you can hear that action and see it right here on Rainier Avenue Radio, our visual platforms. You can go to Facebook Live. You can go to YouTube, go to Twitch, and you can see it. And we are your home for Metro League football in this pandemic-shortened 2021 spring season. But we are so pleased to be able to bring you this action, both the call of the game and the video. So those of you that want to be here and can't be here, you can at least hear and see some of the action.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, it's been fun for us to get back out here. Timeout on the field with 3:07 left to play. And Edwin, it has been just a pleasure to be able to bring this broadcast to our listeners and viewers, and it's amazing. I mean, the platforms now that are available for people to see and hear events, whether it be a sporting event, a musical event, or whatever the case may be, and just a wonderful opportunity. So we are pleased to be able to bring this to all of you. Fans, the families, the parents, friends of these kids, and to be able to bring this action to you.
Rick, everything's online now.
Yeah.
School is online.
Yeah.
So we're taking them football online. And I'm having a lot of college coaches, when I scouted in the NFL, that's contacting me, asking me about ball players.
Yeah.
Are there any qualifiers out there where you are? Can some guys play here? And I welcome the idea of telling the coaches about the ball players and the guys that I've seen.
Yeah. One of the things you and I have talked about a lot is trying to expose kids in the Northwest to the HBCUs and understand that is a great option. And we're seeing, we talked about a couple weeks ago on our show, we're seeing a number of top athletes, highly recruited kids by D1 schools, making some choices to go to HBCUs. So that could change and shift the landscape. You see guys like Deion Sanders now coaching, Kenny Anderson coaching.
It's a viable avenue, man.
Yeah, it really is. Yusuf Abdi Kadir.
That was a tough run by that kid there.
Abdi Kadir picks up. So on the first down play, there was a motion on the offense, so brought it back to midfield. So it's 1st and 15, and then Abdi Kadir with a run, and it looks like they're going to tack on some afterward, maybe. Yeah, it looks like he got about a 5-yard gain, and then Edwin, I'm not sure that. Okay, the referee's coming here. Let's see what he motions. No. Okay. So I didn't think Abdi Kadir got it down to the 40-yard line, but anyway, nevertheless, it's a 10-yard pickup. 2nd and 5, I should say. 2nd and 5 on the 40-yard line. High snap. Abdi Kadir gets it, and he's just putting his head down there, running him in kind of that wildcat position.
I think Abdi Kadir is a running back.
Yeah.
He's getting his hands on the football. He's smart, sharp. He get up and go straight to the sideline where he can get his next play. I like that.
Yusuf Abdikadir Jr., and they are playing him at that quarterback position now and lining him up in the gun. They've been lining up their, their starting quarterback, Nathaniel Hess, under center, but Abdikadir is lining up in the gun. And again, a false start there on that left side. I believe that was number 63, second time.
Somebody was getting off that ball.
Yeah, he started a little bit early there, a little anxious to make the block. And I apologize, I don't have his name, but I guess he doesn't really want his name called out for a false start.
Not jumping offside.
Yeah, so we'll just say offside penalty on the offense.
Yeah,
okay,
on the offense.
Yeah,
that's it.
After I've done said his number anyway, just call the brother out. Okay, so that's going to make it first and 15, and the handoff and that running back, Abdikadir hands off to Joseph Friend, the junior, and Friend off the right side picks up about 3 down to the 35-yard line, so that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Hey, Nathan Hale has a quality of athlete, and they're playing good enough football to take advantage of every mistake that Franklin makes.
Yeah, they really have tonight, and now you see them kind of getting their backups playing.
Yeah,
which is important. It's great experience. And Abdikadir handoff, and that is number 3, Jaheim Fritz. And Fritz, not a lot of room, maybe gets a couple of yards to the original, just shy of the original line of scrimmage. So that's going to make it 3rd and 11 at the 34-yard line.
Number 60 just made a play for Franklin. He got fired up.
That is Malachi Daly.
Malachi Daly. Oh, my goodness.
MD.
Oh, Malachi. That's the name of my godson.
Yep. He doesn't have a nickname in there, but I'm calling him MD. That's my son, Marcus Dupree. We call him MD. So, all right, and hand off to the left side, and that is number 23.
That was a good hit.
Joseph Friend, and Friend picks up a couple of yards, but it's going to be a 4th down. And I believe at the end of the 3rd quarter, it's going to be 4th and 8 for Nathan Hale.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do is we are going to take just a moment. We're going to hand the headset to Daniel B., and he's going to update us on some scores. Daniel, what do you got for us?
Actually, we've already been doing a pretty good job on reporting some scores. Let's take a look in the future next week.
Okay.
Next week, Friday, kicking it off at 5 p.m. from Memorial Stadium. That's O'Day Seattle Prep. That's going to be on Rainier Avenue Radio. Eastside Catholic will host a game against Garfield. That's at 7. Roosevelt and Nathan Hale will play at 7. Chief, Self, and Ingram. That's at 7 o'clock. Lincoln will play West Seattle at 7 o'clock. Franklin will play Cleveland in their second game of the season at 7 o'clock. Ballard will play Bishop Blanchette at 7. And, of course, Memorial's hosting double headers all season long. So their second game next week will be Lakeside versus Rainier Beach. And, of course, we'll be holding that doubleheader right here on Rainier Avenue Radio at 8 o'clock, Lakeside versus Rainier Beach. Back to Rick and Edwin.
All right. Thank you, Daniel B., with that. So we are about ready to start the 4th quarter. 12 minutes left to go. 1 frame. Nathan Hale leading Franklin 40-0 here at Memorial Stadium. And that is Yusuf Abdikadir, and he making some guys miss. I tell you, Abdikadir got a little size on him.
Making some guys miss and making 1 or 2 of them pay.
And so that was a 4th down, and Abdikadir, I think, is going to be just short of he is just short of the 1st down. So Franklin's going to take over on downs, the turnover, but Abdikadir almost got that. He just tucked in and ran on the left side, made a couple guys miss, and just carrying a couple guys. So Franklin, a good defensive stop there, though, and a good defensive series for the Quakers.
I just like the effort that these kids from Franklin are putting forth, man.
Yeah.
And they've gotten quite a few guys hurt, and a few guys are limping. So that means they don't even have any viable backups, but they're still out here competing.
They're still out competing, yeah. And we have seen that, Edwin, in the 3 years we have covered Metro League and prep football, is that just regardless of the score, these kids no quit. And that has been really encouraging. These kids are out here, and they're just giving it their all. So the snap to Dante Wright, and Wright looking for a receiver. He's got the receiver on the sideline there. That is number 4.
Catch. Another little fella. but he made the catch.
Yep, and I am not seeing a 4. So if you, again, are listening, know who number 4 is, feel free to share that with us, and we will call his name. Nice catch there. Pickup of about almost 5 yards, so we're going to call it second and a short 6 to go for Franklin at the 28-yard line.
As they say down south, if that's your youngin', call and let us know.
Yeah, really.
Another catch for number 4.
Yep, and he's going to have the first down.
Yes, sir.
So
somebody call here quick and tell us what his name is.
D. Tate, right. Finding his receiver there, number 4, for first down. So Franklin will have it 1st and 10 on the 35-yard line, trying to mount a drive here with 10 minutes left to go in the ball game, trailing 40-0.
They might run him on a stop and go this time, Rick. They done threw it to him twice.
Yeah, because and the safeties on the left hash that side, but Dante Wright's going to scramble. He's got some room. He's going to pick up the first.
And
there's a late flag
on my man number 4. I think he hurt his arm out there throwing a block.
And he's down.
Don't pull him up by the arm. He hurt.
Yeah, really. Come on. So let's see what the call is.
That's right.
Did we get anybody from Franklin message us to let us know who number 4 for Franklin is?
He's catching, he's blocking.
Yeah. If you are listening, and please let us know.
If that's your youngin', he's playing ball right now.
That's your chilling.
Your churn.
You're cheering, huh? Or chilling. You know, and I mean, the South, man, I love the South. There's just such a, you know, I mentioned this before. I've led service trips for Seattle Academy down to New Orleans 3 years. It's just, and in New Orleans is different than any other place in the United States. It is a special, very, very unique tradition and culture down there. But the people are just so friendly.
Yeah.
I mean, and that is kind of a trait of the South.
That's a Southern.
Yeah, that's Southern hospitality, and it is real. It is
because if they don't like you, they'll let you know.
Oh yeah. Ain't that the truth, huh?
That's the thing about being from the South.
Yes, indeed. Yes, sir, as you would say.
The most honest people on this earth.
Yeah. But it is wonderful. We were down there working, with in the lower ninth, and people would stop literally as we were doing neighborhood cleanup, and the pass out to the right, and it's going to be picked off. A great break on the ball. That's number 32. I'll get you his name in a minute.
That's an outstanding break.
Oh, my goodness. And Dante Wright hung it out there just a little bit, and 32 made a great break on the ball and got the interception. And Edwin, I wish I could credit him by name, but I am looking on this roster, and I don't see 32 listed. But whoever you are, number 32 for Nathan Hale, that was an excellent defensive back play. Read it, broke on the ball, picked it off, and returned it down to the Franklin 16-yard line, I believe is where they will mark it. Check that 17-yard line. So Nathan Hale will have it 1st and 10 with 7:28 left to go in the ball game.
And trust me, you've seen that break on the ball 1,000 times if you watch football.
Yeah. A
great break, great anticipation. The quarterback did the one thing you don't supposed to do. Do not hang that ball out there.
Yeah, you cannot hang it out there.
And he picked it off and took it back the other way.
Yeah, well, when you have an out pattern like that, you've got to throw it up and out to the outside.
Yes.
Where only your guy can get it. But that's tough for a young quarterback. I mean, these are kids, they're learning.
Yeah.
Handoff up the middle, that is.
And Nathan Hale, again, is taking advantage of the little simple mistakes that Franklin to make it.
Yeah. Mario Marino, and a short gain of about 2 yards down to close to the 15-yard line. And those are the footballers on the 15, so we'll give him 2 yards.
Number 24 is coming off the field with a banged-up arm now.
That is the big guy for Franklin, Tank.
Good-looking kid.
Yeah,
man.
Carmonte Banks.
He's a good-looking kid. The number one with his arm in a sling.
Yeah.
Is a good-looking kid.
So Franklin a little bit beat up.
Yep.
And again, the handoff to Mario Marino on the right side, and Marino takes it down inside the 15. Let's see if they give him a yard or two on that carry. Let's see where the spot is.
Somebody else limping off the field.
Yep. And no, it's going to be no gain. Ball remains at the 15-yard line, so it'll be 3rd and 8.
And if he fall down, then they'll stop.
And Franklin has a player limping off. That is number 51. He's limping off under his own power. Looks like
he's gonna be all right.
Yeah. I don't think it's anything serious. That's Mac Mull, Jamal Tyler.
Might be just a cramp.
Yeah, he's kind of walking it off. The trainer comes up to him, gives him some water. And a big stop. That is Franklin, number 44, coming in through the line. Dave Uno Pugh. And makes the runner pay on that one. A loss back to the 18-yard line. So that's going to make it 4th and just over 10 yards to go. So another defensive stop. Again, Edwin, there are some good things I'm seeing, even though Franklin losing this game, trailing 40-0. Some correctable errors, and there's some things we're seeing that I think are leading both of us to believe that Franklin can be competitive.
Franklin is a very good football team, and their coaches are individually taking chance, which they can talk to every ball player.
Yeah,
but they don't have that many ball players, so they get some personal coaching. Whoa!
So
missed it.
Field goal attempt is just wide to the right. And bad snap, and the holder did a good job, Edwin.
Getting it down. That was an incredible rush by Franklin. A kid came running from the end zone.
Yeah.
And got up in there.
Got up in there, yeah. So with 4:38 left to go in the ball game, Nathan Hale leading Franklin by a score of 40-0, 40-0, and the Quakers will take over 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line. And again, the reason the clock running so quickly is there is the mercy rule. And so I believe both basketball and football, it is 40 points once at whatever point. Well, let me say, once a team is up by 40, they begin the running clock. And the penalty pre-snap flag, I'm not sure what it is. We'll see. So on the defense there.
Illegal substitution. How many of them they got out there defense? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They got 12?
Okay.
They still got 12.
Yeah,
okay.
Now one's coming off, yeah.
5 is 55 is running off. They were trying to play with 12 too.
Yeah, so 55. It's like, brother, you've had a great game. You go ahead and give some of the reserves a chance now.
Oh, here we go.
And another penalty.
Timeout.
Oh, okay. And 55, Gus. And I hope I'm pronouncing it right, Zarkades or Zadarkis. But anyway, so with that, a timeout on the field, 3:33. The ball is at the 25-yard line. Franklin will have a 1st and 5. So, Edwin, I was saying that, in the high school football or high school sports, actually, they have the, at least in the WIA, Washington Interscholastic Activities Association, the 40-point, the mercy rule. And so once a team goes up by 40 points, it's a running clock unless there's a timeout or something like that called. Now, if a team goes up in the first half, if I'm not mistaken, I recall the rule correctly, if they go up by 40 in the first half, the clock will continue in the first half to go as it normally would, but then the second half will be running clock, regardless if the score goes under 40 points. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, I believe I'm calling that right.
Now, Rick, tell me something. Is this coach on Franklin sideline has glow in the dark gloves on? Okay, check out my guy.
Oh, there you go. I see it. Yeah, I was
got him a first down.
Yeah, you do. So the first down run there by Franklin was that Mighty?
That was Mighty.
Man, you right. Mighty looked like he maybe 5 feet. Mighty is a little dude out there.
I played with that guy there at Tompkins High School in Savannah, Georgia.
I'm going to tell you what, though. I like his heart, and I know you do. We're talking about Eli Mighty Russ.
Yes, sir.
And he is all heart, and he is a player, regardless of his size. He's like, I'm not letting my size stop me. I can do it.
James German was 5'3", 140 pounds. The best fullback, best tailback I ever played with.
And so the snap, and Wright rolling to his right. He's going to. And Dante Wright is going to scramble close to the first down. Let's see where they mark him back at the 39-yard line. So he's about 2.5 yards short of the first down.
That's a good play.
It is 2:25 left to go in the ball game here. So again, the reason this fourth quarter in particular going so fast is once Nathan Hale scored their 40th point, at that point, it's been a running clock. And the only thing that will stop the running clock is either a timeout or I believe when there's after a score, I believe it stops there as well. So we are winding down here. And Wright looking for his receiver. He's got the big guy, Tank, and Tank catches it. and then steps out of
he
bounds.
stepped out of bounds.
And Tank, that is a Carmonte Banks.
I'm gonna tell you what now. Dude, that's a big, pretty young football player right there, man.
Yeah, we and as we talk about it, we'll have this conversation about our player, of the week, and people may say, well, it's hard, they lost 40-0, but as you said earlier, we're looking at the individual play when we talk about that player of the week, and you want the impact of the game as well, but when a guy stands out as much as he has, and DT Wright again scrambling, picks up some positive yards. Certainly a guy that is at least worth consideration is going to be Carmonte Banks. Tank is just played one heck of a game, and it's tough when you lose like this. And so Franklin, their first game, and I would say this, Edwin, the first game of the season, and a lot of good things they can take away from this as well. And hats off to Nathan Hale to go up 2-0. With a very impressive win, and as you said earlier, taking advantage of the mistakes.
Yeah, throw it.
DT looking, and now just he was looking for a receiver on the sideline there. That was number 4, and threw it out of bounds. And I think we might have one more play as the clock is at 33, 32, 31, and ticking. So I believe this will be the last play of the game if they get it off.
I tell you what, one of the officials just showed why he's an official. But they threw him the ball. That ball almost killed him.
Hit him in
the hands and hit him in the head.
That's going through the hands. So the last play, DT looking to his right, to his got a receiver, and they're going to say incomplete. And it was a low pass, and number 4 not able to bring it in. So that's going to do it for us here at Memorial Stadium. Nathan Hale, a big 40-0 win over Franklin. And so with that said, that will do it for the doubleheader. The first of our doubleheader, Seattle Prep was a 28-0 winner over Franklin. And then here tonight in the nightcap, as they say, Nathan Hale, a 40-0 winner over Franklin. Make sure to stay tuned. Join us next Friday. We'll be right here, 5 o'clock, O'Day and Seattle Prep, followed by Ballard and Rainier Beach. That doubleheader you can hear live right here on Rainier. Lakeside, hold on. Lakeside Rainier Beach.
Okay.
Forgive me. So somehow I got Ballard Rainier Beach in my head. Lakeside and Rainier Beach. Thank you for that correction.
But O'Day and Seattle Prep, that should be a pretty good one.
Yeah, we hope so.
A slobber knocker.
A slobber knocker. Good Lord. Yes, indeed. And so with that, thank you for correcting me, Tony. Again, I become non-Jewibico. Thank you for correcting my English, which stinks. And so, so again, next week, that doubleheader that you can see right here and listen to right here on Rainier Avenue Radio. The early game at 5 o'clock, O'Day, Seattle Prep. The late game, 8 o'clock, Lakeside and Rainier Beach. Did I get it right that time? Lakeside and Rainier Beach. Okay. I get the thumbs up. So I've done something right tonight. Well, I hope you have enjoyed our coverage, and we certainly have enjoyed bringing it to you, and certainly enjoyed being here in the stadium and seeing these young men just play their hearts out. And so congratulations, Nathan Hale, big win, 40-0 over Franklin. And Daniel, we're going to throw it back to you. Are we wrapping up? We are wrapping up. So again, we appreciate you. Say that again. Wrap it up. I will wrap it up. So again, I want to say thank you for listening to us here on Rainier Avenue Radio, your community radio station, and also your home for Metro League football here in this 2021 shortened pandemic season. I'm Rick Dupree for Edwin Bailey, for Daniel B., Tony B., Taylor Kareen. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage, and we will see you, and you'll be able to hear us next Friday right here at 5 o'clock on Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Until then, peace and God bless.